Hello again. Some people, mostly women, but also including quite a few men, of whom I am one, are growing awfully tired of seeing men with various sexual kinks trying to push their way into women's spaces and deprive them of privacy. We all, most of us, also sick of seeing mothers being described as birthing parents, breastfeeding being called chest feeding, and a host of other ridiculous things, all caused and brought about by men who don't really like women. The thumbnail to this video shows a man with a sexual fetish for women's clothing. Nothing at all wrong with that, of course, although most of us indulge our sexual proclivities in the bedroom rather than in the middle of the road. This is, of course, a male transvestite called Eddie Izzard. He actually used to get off on parading around in women's clothes in this fashion. Fast forward a few years, and this person is now claiming that he actually is a woman. He still has that penis, which gave him such pleasure when he was a practicing transvestite, of course, but that's a minor point. He insists these days on using women's lavatories and being referred to as she rather than he. Eddie Izzard is typical of the new generation of male to female transsexuals. He is determined to be as pushy and obtrusive as he can be, and any woman who raises her eyebrows is likely to be accused by his supporters of transphobia or of being a TERF, that is to say, a trans-exclusionary radical feminist. It's easy enough to see what is really going on here by simply noting that the people who are cutting up rough about this and coining dismissive expressions for those who disagree with them all have penises. We know that there is an upsurge in biological women who believe or have been persuaded to believe that they are really men. Let me ask a simple question. Has any reader ever heard of a biological woman making a noise or resorting to aggressive behaviour because she wishes to use a men's lavatory? Has anybody listening to this video ever heard of such a thing? Or is it the case that it is always biological men who are insisting on using women's lavatories? Have any viewers ever heard about a biological woman complaining that she is excluded from all male spaces? No, nobody has, have they? The reason is that those making all the fuss here and shouting about transphobia all have something in common, which is that they have penises. Viewed objectively, it looks very much like a bunch of men pushing their way in where they are not wanted, to places where women prefer to be just with other women. You know, changing rooms, hospital wards, clubs and so on. This is about pushy men with a fetish, not women. I fully expect to be accused of transphobia myself for pointing this out, but I really am quite happy for men to dress as women. I could hardly be more broad-minded about the question. I can see no reason at all why men shouldn't dress up as women or wear makeup, grow their hair, even have their bodies mutilated if they wish. We all have our own hobbies and interests, and if a man enjoys this activity, then good luck to him. But when I see a man like Eddie Izzard, who used to parade in the streets like a hooker, because that's what he got off on, as can be seen clearly in the thumbnail to this video. When I see somebody like that who begins to wear women's clothes all the time and tells us that he's been a woman all along, I reserve the right to trust my own instincts. As Nietzsche once pointed out, even when the mouth lies, the direction it points tells the truth. Whatever these men assert, and however much fuss they make, they remain aggressive men who wish to exhibit themselves as grotesque parodies of women. They are certainly not women